Well, welcome to a bonus episode of the Grazing Sheep Podcast. I'm your host, Big Tom Perkins, along with Dr. Cameron Meyerly. And today we're going to talk about the Eastern Alliance for Production Katahdins, what we know as EAPK, and kind of what the benefits of being a member of that association are, and about their upcoming symposium.
Yeah, so we had mentioned there a couple weeks ago about the symposium, and uh, just we were both planning on attending and thought, looking back, maybe not everybody knows what we're talking about. And certainly, this year it's going to be held in Moorhead, Kentucky at uh, Moorhead State University down in Kentucky. And so excited to kind of see their facilities. I've never been there before. They've got a relatively new flock of Katahdins, if I'm remembering correctly. Uh, and then certainly the educational portion should be beneficial, as well as there's a sale associated with it. So, I've got a 7-hour drive to get down there. Tom, you're probably similar to it.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty
Eh,
close.
Yeah, and would you say it's worth the drive?
I've been to the last two, and I've enjoyed them all.
Okay. Yeah, for me, and it's not just because I'm giving a talk, uh, but but for me, in terms of the sheep programs that I've attended, both from a learning standpoint or been a part of, this one kind of stands out just from a level of information provided and who they've got speaking, the topics that they're choosing to discuss, I think will be very interesting and very educational. From a just personal use, what I'm really excited for, they've got some necropsy demonstrations.
Yep.
So some on-farm useful tools on what we need to look for and maybe how we can quantify or collect the data on those early losses during the lambing season is my hope to what I'd like to pull out of it.
Yeah, that's one of the breakout sessions that I plan to attend is that necropsy. It's something we've talked about for a long time and don't know a whole lot about it. We've been a member of EAPK, I think, pretty close since its inception. And I know they have a quarterly newsletter that comes out when you're a member. There's blogs that pop up quite often that are usually like 5 or 6 minute reads. They're not these long, long things that you get bored of it by the time you get to the end, but there's always good information in there. And if you're a member, you go on the website, you can find all the past blogs and catch up on all that. Not to mention, there's a list of members on there, and most of the time you can find somebody that's not all that terribly far away, or at least you can find somebody in your region and a phone number that you can call up and talk to those people. And so I've made lots of good friends through EAPK.
Yeah, and I think it's a cool thing that this is an organization done by sheep producers for sheep
Mm-hmm.
producers, uh, putting into place kind of the education that they see value in and what they hope has value to new producers, not just new to the Katahdin breed, but also just new to sheep. Uh,
Yep.
Part of EAPK, and Tom, you're usually on there. I'm usually on there once a month. They have a open forum through Zoom that's beneficial just to hop on and talk about kind of what's going on their operation, whether it's disease issue or combating parasite issues, just to a place to talk to other producers and maybe how they're dealing with these certain topics. So I've benefited from that. Just the organization as a whole, I think, has been extraordinarily valuable for Katahdin producers, especially in this part of the country, but also those online resources, regardless of where you're at or where you're listening from, to hop on there and gain some education through the written material and those educational pieces has a lot of value.
Absolutely. I know those monthly calls, Zoom calls, I always look forward to those. It could be anything from something that's very in depth in genetics to just what are you feeding lambs to get them to grow? It can be all over the map,
Right.
and nobody gets
It's
upset if it's a
informative.
beginner question. You know, it's super easy to just to sit and listen to what's going on. You don't even have to ask questions. You can just sit and listen.
Yeah. And so that symposium schedule, again, we kind of talked about briefly what we're excited for. You can find that schedule on the EAPK website, and I usually type in EAPK sheep and it pops up on Google. I think the actual uh, web address is Eastern Alliance Katahdins.com. And on that page, you can find all those educational materials as well as under events, that symposium schedule. But slated speakers for the 8th, uh, which is a Saturday.
Yeah, July
Uh,
8th.
yeah, July 8th, starting at 9 o'clock. I'll be giving a talk on nutrition and parasitism, predominantly what I took a look at during my PhD work at West Virginia University, and then we get into Dr. Weaver giving a talk on data collection and submitting that data, as well as the other breakout being the necropsy demonstration that you had talked about, or we both talked about. We're excited for, and then in the afternoon, Dr. Scott Bowdridge, who we're gonna hope to have on here for a podcast episode here in the future on the immune function of sheep, is going to talk about selecting parasite resistance and predominantly the selection for immunity. So, kind of how those things go inside or coincide uh, with selecting parasite resistant sheep, as well as maybe some generalized immune function that's coming along with that EBV, and then we'll wrap up the day uh, presentation wise with Dr. Ron Lewis, looking at breeding objections, uh, and kind of taking a deep dive into that aspect of sheep production. So, and then kind of ending with questions and open discussion. Um, and then, like I said, there's a sale associated with that. That if you're looking for quality breeding animals, you're a Katahdin producer, certainly take a look at that sales site, and that's actually through Willoughby Livestock, uh,
Okay.
and that's an online sale, so the sheep will be present that that day or weekend. Uh, but bidding, whether you can attend this symposium or you're just looking for a ram, uh, those sheep will be sold via online auction platform, and uh, even if you're not in attendance, can purchase a high quality ram out of this sale from some EAPK breeders.
Yep. You do not have to be a member of EAPK to buy in that auction if you so choose.
Correct.
But I think membership fees are what are they, $45 or $50 or something like that? They're not much.
Yeah, I can look here because I am on the website,
Yeah.
uh, and I know it's $30
$30.
is
I see
is
even
for the
cheaper than I thought it was.
for individual membership, and that's for again an individual $30. You have one vote as part of the organization, and then a farm membership is $50.
Yeah.
And then you would receive two
Two
votes.
votes. Yeah.
But yeah, and there's a map on there of where producers are at, which it's kind of fun to look and see where additional individuals have signed up and added that location, because it is growing and it's something that's been pretty widely accepted in our part of the country, certainly. But like I said, even if you're listening from the other side of the country, or maybe not even in this country, the resources there, written resources through those blog posts and just the educational materials have a lot of value, regardless of whether you're a member or not.
Yep. So, well, we thank you for listening to this bonus episode of the Grazing Sheep Podcast. Be sure to go on the website there and check out the EAPK. It's a great organization to belong to. Oh, it's been good catching up with you there, Cam. And
You too, Tom, and I'm excited to see you down in Moorhead, Kentucky.
yep, it'll be a good day. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.